Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome to Simply Living in a Small Town. Well, it's already Thursday. This week has just blown by, but I want to welcome everyone returning to watch this, and if you're a new watcher, I welcome you as well. Thank you so much. I can't believe it's already Thursday, y'all. Tomorrow is going to be Friday, and this week just feels like a blur to me. And I understandably so if you went through my week. And I'm sure y'all, there's probably a lot of you deal with the same thing, in that, you know, it just seems like days just snowball, and the next thing you know, the whole week is like, what happened? Where did it go? So I actually finally got to go this morning and have an appointment, a medical appointment. I'm going to say that because I didn't actually get to go to a doctor this morning, but it was a nurse appointment, and the great thing was it was actually in my town. Now, so this is part of what happened this week. I know I had told you all before that, like, I have, so since my family doctor, I want to say this was maybe like it's been this last winter sometime or something, that my family doctor, which was also my husband's family doctor and my son, and originally my daughter's as well, but she was not going to come back. She was actually had been out on medical leave. She has multiple sclerosis, and she had been out for some time due to a medical procedure. I'm not sure what she had done, because I mean, it's really none of my business, but other than I did know she had MS, because we had actually discussed it in my appointments, because I was trying to get diagnosed because of some of the issues that I was having, and this was before I got basically diagnosed with lupus. But I was having neurological issues and things, a lot of different issues, but the neurological side of it had a lot to do with it. And so at one point she actually thought that I had multiple sclerosis, and I actually had MRIs done to try to determine, you know, if that was a possibility, which, yes, according to one of my MRIs, it did say, I can't think of the word they use, but it's like kind of what they think is what it is, you know, and there's a word for that, but I can't think of what it is. And then they said that this or MS, and they actually had that. I still have all that from that. So we had a lot in common that way with a lot of the issues and stuff. So she'd actually thought that I had that, but she had some sort of medical procedure done. I guess there were complications with that from my understanding, and she was not able to go ahead and finally come back to her practice, which, you know, in turn, I mean, I'm sure it hurt a lot of people, me being one of them, but also my doctor as well, because she just is one of those people that knew you, like, you know, even if you only came in once every 3 months, I mean, she knew, like, your hair looked different, or you look, you know, you look great, like, whatever. She was always very personable. So I had been with her for over 20 years, and she'd seen me at my worst and my best. So if things were going on, like, you know, she knew. She knew things were going on, you know. So yeah, it's pretty tough to, like, find another doctor now, to say the least, because also my doctor was a doctor of internal medicine, and although I have rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and lupus, I have still not been to a rheumatologist yet. in my area, there's really not any. There's only one now. And I have been to him once, and I will not return to him. So that guy I actually went to, I want to say 2 years ago. And that's not even a real doctor in my book. Like, he literally told me I'm not, you know, I asked him if he had looked at my medical chart. No, because he was in the same, you know, health group or whatever as my regular family doctor. And no, he's like, I don't need to, and we're just going to start from scratch. And he was making then assumptions, and it's like, look, no, you know, my body can't start from scratch, okay? I originally found out I had rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis like in 2015 and 16, something like that. Yeah, because actually, in 2016, I went to an orthopedic doctor, and he did an injection in one of my knees, which is now the knee that I've since had replaced last year. So he did that, and he said right then and there, like, you know, you have osteoarthritis, you have bone spurs, he was asking me, like, you know, how bad the pain was and whatnot. Of course, that's why I was in there. And he also looked at my wrists and stuff too, because my wrists are really bad. But and then since then, you know, that was 2016. So my other knee has followed suit, you know. Well, it was actually both knees, but for some reason he only injected the one knee. But originally I actually had an accident at my work. And the next thing I knew that it turned into bursitis. And then from there turned into, you know, oh, you have arthritis. Like, so, and that all happened in 2016. And that's actually when I started, it's all like very quick. I lost my job because of that, because I went and chose to go to the doctor after, you know, I realized there was a problem. They refused to allow me to have it looked at where I worked. As far as like in-house, they had medical, like EMTs, but I actually, calm down, my kitty's getting a little wiry. I actually asked my supervisor, she saw me limping down the hallway that day, okay, mind you. But I actually asked her if I could switch. I had already called and made a doctor appointment for the next morning because, I mean, I barely got through like that day. So I asked her if I could switch the next day for one of my off days. I would gladly just switch, that I needed to be off the next morning to go to the doctor because of my knee. And even though she had seen me limping up and down the hallway like before this, she refused to allow me to switch. She said, no, because we need you here and I can't allow that. And so what happened was I called off the next morning because absolutely I was going to keep that appointment. I could not even walk on my leg. I literally was like dragging my leg along. So yeah, I ended up losing my job because of that, because they had a point system, and so I pointed out, you know, it is what it is on that, you know, I mean, but that's when I found out. In other words, I had very quickly, it was, well, let me back up for a second. Like earlier in that year, you know, my doctor had already said, you have rheumatoid arthritis. Like, I had carpal tunnel really bad in my wrist and all this, and she's like, yeah, you have arthritis. Like, so it was already to a point that was like it was becoming very difficult to deal with before I ever then injured, in other words, my knee at work. The injuring my knee at work was just like the final straw of the whole thing, because I was literally wearing my wrist braces every day. And y'all, I was taking like 4 or 5 naproxens in the morning. And like this size of a coffee, actually it was a little bigger than this, to work. And just to get my day going, because at that time I was actually a housekeeper. So, it, you know, I was cleaning anywhere from 15 to 25, 26 rooms a day. So it was imperative that, you know, my hands worked and my wrists. But I had been to my doctor numerous times complaining about, you know, this, because it was so bad. My wrists would be hurting so bad and swollen, and it was getting to where my fingers were swelling up. And overnight, like in the morning when I would go to get up in the morning, I would have trouble just like even like this far getting my fingers to flex, you know, they would be so stiff. And then I remember actually even like both of my pinkies, there's one of them, I can't remember, there's one of them that doesn't, it's actually more straight now, but at one point it was literally bent, you can't see it. There, it's like bent like that, and I literally couldn't straighten it up. And it's still, both of them, it's this one here, looks really crooked. But yeah, this one, it was just like bent, and I could never like getting it straightened out. So anyway, so these have been issues for a long time. In other words, the arthritis and the carpal tunnel, and I didn't know back then I had degenerative disc disease. I mean, I knew I had the osteoarthritis too. The degenerative disc disease I really didn't learn about until 2019, and that was because I had MRIs done, and then that's when we found out. But that's kind of a thing because, well, I have bone spurs, but then I also have I have 2 different discs that are dislocated, like in my back. I broke my back when I was 17 years old due to an accident that someone else caused, and I did not receive medical treatment for. So a lot of my problems also stem because ever since that happened, I've had major back problems ever since then, and now I was 17 and now I'm 47. So that has been, you know, it's been a very difficult road with my back, and it's only gotten worse. But so anyway, I have been with my family doctor for a very, very long time. So you know, I was so sad to hear that she was unable to come back, but I was also then concerned about myself because I have a lot of medical needs, and I'm on a lot of different medications, you know, because I also have a lot of other things going on that, like, I'm on thyroid medication because I have low thyroid, you know, I have hypothyroidism. I'm anemic, so, you know, I'm on iron. It's just, there's just a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff that I'm on. And so I knew that, like, you know, it's weird because I had told my husband about a year or so before this. I was like, man, you know, whenever, like, this doctor leaves and I don't have her anymore, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do. And some of my fears and hers are like have come true. So I have been dealing with issues with this same health group. And now the group is based out of Kentucky. And so more recently, they have bought out the hospital that is actually in the county where we normally go to the hospital. That's like, it's basically the same county that my house that burnt down. It's that same county. The same county that I will never live again in. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Never again. But it's kind of like that county is like almost like, I call it like the outskirts of Cincinnati, because Cincinnati, Ohio is literally like, you know, 20, 25, 30 minutes, depending on well, not even that long, depending on what part of you're going to or whatnot. But anyway, it's like, so that edge of that county like sits right up against, you know, where Cincinnati starts. So anyway, this larger health group out of, I'm sorry y'all, I'm laughing at him because that is just hilarious. He looks like, doesn't he look like a cute little statue up there? It's just too funny. Anyway, so this health group bought out like the hospital then, you know, like in Indiana where I'm from, in this area where we would usually go and that. So they've all converted over to this, you know, that's what it is or whatever. So I have not liked since they've taken over, and this has been, it's been a couple of years, 2 or 3 years maybe, that they've taken over, and they're actually building a brand new hospital too that's closer down by the interstate where you can go Kentucky, Cincinnati, or then the Indiana side. So it's right on the verge of that little like piece of Indiana right before you get onto the interstate. So anyway, I have not liked the way that they have done things and whatnot, and even the doctor I was going to didn't either, and was not thrilled with everything either. But anyway, nonetheless, so my doctor's like literally was one of those people that is like, she's totally irreplaceable because she's such a doll. Like, she's just such a precious person that, like, she just really, really loves, like, she really loved her people. Like, you know, her patients and stuff, she was so caring. So it's just, I need to find, though, a doctor. So they sent me in this same health group to, you know, a nurse. And this is supposed to be sufficient for someone with all the medical needs that I have, which obviously I have an orthopedic doctor. I have an orthopedic doctor that's absolutely fantastic, but I don't have a rheumatologist yet. And also, I had a neurologist, but he died. And so and I'm not laughing about that because his died. It's just ironic that I was moving away from them and going to go to another neurologist, and had an appointment with another neurologist. I had to cancel that appointment due to issues with my insurance. So hadn't quite gotten that done yet. But anyway, I found out that he passed away, you know, like after the fact, and I was like, oh wow, you know, I mean, so I didn't even know that happened. I didn't receive anything from them about that or anything, and I actually heard from like a couple other people that he had passed away. And so, you know, I'm still going to have a neurologist, and I will eventually get to a rheumatologist, and I have a wonderful orthopedic doctor, but I really need a good family doctor. Like, for me, they want to just send me, you know, and I think they did this to, you know, like all, from what I understood. So all the people that were going to this doctor that, of mine, that, you know, she had a lot of, obviously, patients and stuff, that they sent everybody basically to this nurse. And for me, like, that's just not gonna, that's just like not gonna get it, okay? That's not gonna do it for me with my medical needs, like, on a regular basis, because, like, she doesn't even deal with the stuff that I am dealing with. Like, I mean, I don't, so anyway, so the day before yesterday was Tuesday. I had, like, that morning was going great. I was working on a project. My husband and I, he cut a board for me, and I was great. I'm going to get this done today. Blah, blah, it was great. And then one of my family members, I'll just put it that way, I'm going to say it that way. One of my family members came up here, and then it's just, the words that that person said, it's just rude and whatever. And I just cannot, I'm telling y'all, I feel for you if you have toxic family members, because I I have had my entire life, and I just, it's really, truly, like, plagued my life, and it has taken me literally years of work on myself to get myself to a place where, like, I could even do this video right now. I mean, I didn't grow up with what I needed. I did not have the support that I needed, and yeah, so anyway, this person was, you know, saying things that I needed this, I needed that. This is pretty much always the same thing from this individual and another individual in relation to that person as well. And they're both, it's the same thing. And it's just, it wouldn't even matter, you know, y'all, it wouldn't matter what there are people in this world that are just straight up not gonna like you. Just like there's people I don't like. There's people you don't like. There's people my daughter don't like. I mean, you know, I'm just laughing because it's just funny, because people don't, I used to be one of these people. I tried, like, I was a people pleaser. So much to a point, y'all, that I was getting myself just trampled all over. Because people would take my kindness and mistake that for weakness. And then it would get to a point where I would just, like, explode over whatever, because I'm like, no, I'm not, you know, you're not going to do that. Like, but there's just literally going to be people in this world just don't like you. And it's just, you don't have to do anything to them. They just don't like you. I mean, it's just the way it is. So, you know, that's fine. I don't mind if, you know, I'm not for everybody any more than everybody else is for everybody either. Like, I mean, that's just the way it is. That's fine. But, like, I don't need people telling me, like, you know what you need to do, you need to do this, and you need to do, and mind you, these people have never been in my shoes. And no, this has literally nothing to do with YouTube. If you're just tuning in, this has to do with toxic family members. So I don't, and anybody that knows me knows, you do not tell me what to do. I mean, y'all can ask my husband. Now, he will tell you, you don't tell me what to do. Like, I get on him because once in a while he's like, says something. It's so funny, y'all, because he'll say something just to try to, like, get at me, you know, and I'm like, you know better than that. I don't have to do what you say, you know. Just because you say it don't mean I'm doing it, you know. So that's just how it is. Like, I do not tolerate that. But in more recent years, I've had to seriously stand firm on my boundaries. You're getting into my shirt, kitty. And so, you know, those kind of people that like to do this to me, like, they don't like it when I have these boundaries, and I'm like, I'm not tolerating that. It's plain and simple. You're not going to speak to me that way. You're not going to say those things to me. Like, you're not going to do that. I don't care who you are. Like, you're not welcome to do that. That's just rude. Like, there's no need for that whatsoever. So this person is just critical all the time. The other person in association with that person is the same way. And I am just not, I'm not for it, y'all. I just want to live my life in peace. And I have learned so well to block myself from people like that. I don't need your energy. Keep it away from me. I don't need your negativity. I have, like, lived through enough. I have literally lived through, like, enough trauma, tragedy, you just don't know. And you all only know about the house fire. Like, that's just, like, one piece of a lot of different things. So, you know, surviving that, though, it's huge. I mean, huge. And it has taken me, and all that time, y'all, I have worked so hard on myself mentally. So this is why, so like I was upset after this person left the other day. I was like, I don't even get angry like that anymore, you know? It's just, but these are people that can literally trigger me so easily. And it's because these are people that have like seriously cut me very deep, like very deeply emotionally scarred me and things like that. So, you know, most of the time I do really good. But the other day it was like you can only take so much, you know, and I was like so mad after this person left, and I was messaging them and whatever, and I was just like, I just went off on them, y'all. And no, not in a like, it wasn't like in a, I'm cussing them out or anything like that. Trust me, it was not like that. But I'm just saying, like, look, you know, you're saying this, but, you know, do you even understand what you're saying? I have a million things to do all the time. It doesn't work that way. I don't do what, like, just because you say that's what I need to do. Like, you're not going to come in and tell me what I'm going to do with my personal things or my life or whatever. That's just control, straight up. That is literally someone just trying to control your life. And these people have done this to me, like, yeah, pretty much my whole life. So it's like, no. So that's like, you know, I was just so angry about it. It's just because it's like these people they never stop. They never stop. It's just more of the same. Okay. So I was angry about that. And that person just made me so angry. And so I was so angry about that. And then, back to the whole doctor thing. So then, I am out of, again, you know, almost all my meds. And I requested them to be refilled. So they called me the other day from there, the nurse. And, well, no, what it was in my chart. The nurse messaged me through my chart. And there was 2 of my meds. No. Ah! Sorry. Hold on a second. I'm so sorry about that. The little gray cat, he ran after one of our other kitties, and he likes to try to irritate her, and then she'll get like really loud, like a lion or something. So I didn't want y'all to hear that, but actually I guess I see him actually across the way here, so it's good. Anyway, so anyway, I had actually sent her a message through the My Chart thing, because there were 2 of my medications on my list of medications that were no longer there. Now, these are meds. One of them I've been on since 2019 for my neurologist office, and the other one I have been on since like 2 years ago, 3 years, maybe 2 years ago, I think. So she messages me back, this nurse, and she is, the one of them both of them I'm out of, but the one of them I just ran out of. The other one I haven't had refilled for a while, so it was no big deal. But the one, I was trying to get it refilled, and she said, oh, you know, like, you need to go to the specialist for that. And I was like, I said, well, my neurologist died. And then she messaged me back. I was like, and I haven't gotten into another one yet, like on that. And then she messaged me back, and she's like, said, no, you need to go to a rheumatologist. Like, I didn't know. And I was referring to the one medication, okay, that was one thing. And then she's referring to something else that I'm on for the arthritis, for the rheumatoid arthritis. So she says, you need to go to a rheumatologist. I said, I told her, I said, well, there are none in this area. Y'all, I told her, I said, there's none in this area except for one. It's a quack. Yes, I literally said that because there's one in their health group, okay? And he's the one I was just telling y'all about, that we're just going to start from scratch. And I'm like, no, we're not. That's why I never went back to him. No, we're not. I mean, and just think, he got paid by my insurance company. I just think some of these people are so ridiculous. I'm sorry, my body cannot start from scratch. So yeah, that's really not how it works. But he's the one that refused to look at my chart or anything about me. No, he didn't need any of that. Anyways, so that's who I was referring to. But anyhow, and then I said, and then plus, like, how am I supposed to go to one of those anyway without a referral? So now that's kind of a problem, because I would need to, in other words, what I was getting at is I would need a new referral, not only for rheumatologist, but I would need one to go to a neurologist at this point too, because like I don't have a current referral for either one of those. You don't just walk into those places and get an appointment. So then and she had already, you know, the other stuff though, it said, you know, that the refill was like accepted or whatever the heck, you know. The refills were put on the other stuff. So anyway, then somebody called, well, anyway, then I get so mad about it. Then I go in, because I was supposed to have an appointment today with this nurse. And it was just supposed to be a checkup, and this was so I could continue getting my meds, because they're trying to sit there and tell me, you know, basically, they had already called me and told me, we're not going to refill any more of your medications until you come in. So I had made this appointment, and I just made it like a week ago or whatever. So yeah, it was last week. So anyway, then I go in there in my chart and I cancel it, because I was so mad, y'all. I was so mad at the way that she was all nasty with me. So next thing you know, or I know, I get a phone call from that office, okay? And it's the, like, you know, desk person or whatever, like, receptionist person or whatnot. And they're telling me that, well, so-and-so says, and it's the nurse's name, okay, is not going to allow you to have your medications unless you come in and you've canceled your appointment. And I'm telling you right now, after all I've dealt with them, I said, you're not going to threaten me over my medications. And because she literally said, this lady's basically saying to me, she said that in other words, that I was not going to get them if I did not come in and see specifically this nurse. I said, you're not going to threaten me over my medications, and I am not coming in to see her. I said, I'm going to make an appointment in Milan, which is where I live, because there's a little office up here, actually, of theirs. And I said, don't call me again. And I hung up. Y'all, I was so mad about that. I mean, seriously, okay, here's my problem with this. So, like, the one that she's, like, not wanting to refill, telling me I need to go to a rheumatologist. First of all, you've been refilling it, and you never said this before. Now all of a sudden you're saying this after I have just run out and took my last dosage on Sunday, which means I don't have a dosage for this week. And it's 6 pills that you take in one day. Okay, so this is not just some whatever. Like, so first of all, she's been refilling this, okay? Then there's another medication that I take that goes with it. It's just folic acid, but it's because this medication depletes your folic acid. Well, I just had that one refilled for 3 months, so now I have folic acid, okay, that I can't take, because there's no point in me taking it, because I don't have, you know, I don't have the one that she won't prescribe me now. All of a sudden is telling me I need to go to a rheumatologist. And then on top of that, well, let's see, again, these are specialists, so you need referrals to go to these people. And then also something else, around here, and I don't know how it is where y'all are at or what, but I'm telling you what, around here for a specialist, it usually takes you 3 months to get in there. Straight up. So, in other words, like, you've waited, you knew this, like, you could have said this the last time you refilled it if this was the case. Now you've waited time out. I don't have a referral to go to rheumatologist. Even if you give me a referral, I am not going to get in there anytime soon. I still won't have my medication. So, this is why I was so angry. I'm sorry, but these people have put me through, you know what, over these medications. And I mean over all of them, because I know I told y'all before, I've been having trouble. There's one of my, I'm on hydroxychloroquine for my lupus. And I had requested, now I just ran out of that one. So this is one of them I'm supposed to be getting refilled. And when I ran out the last time, I went in there to have it refilled. Let me back up 2 times back. 2 times back when I went in there, it wasn't even in my chart anymore as one of my medications that I take anymore. So I couldn't even do it. I had to call them in, so they had to add it back on there. So then the last time, and I know I told you guys about this, that it was in there, and I requested the refill, and oh, well, finally a month later they approved it. Now, as any of you know that has autoimmune or whatnot, chronic, you know, pain disorder and whatnot, this stuff causes you to have a flare-up. When you're just rolling around, you know, back and forth, not taking the meds, not, you know, you can't like do that. The drug that she is telling me I have to go to a rheumatologist for, that takes literally 3 to 6 months to build up in your system to become like effective to you. So, in which that's another one of them that I had to wait a while on too. The one I just ran out of. The last time I had ran out of it, I had to wait a while on that. But I mean, it's even been like my naproxen. I had to call them. I've had to call them and badger them because they're not they are not like accepting, like, you know, for my refills or whatever. And this has just been the whole time since my doctor has left. This is what I've had to deal with. Like every single time, even since was down there and have been checked out. Like, so I've dealt with this over and again. Y'all, I went to this office up the street here for me, which literally is like 5 minutes up the street here. That just couldn't have been more easier. I'm telling you that, you know, they did go ahead and draw my blood work, even though I thought that was pointless because I'm not even on anything currently. What's that gonna, I don't know what that's gonna prove one way or the other. Of course, now she told me that, like on my thyroid, well, we need to make sure, it's almost like they're questioning everything my doctor did. It's like, I don't understand that because all my blood work's in my chart and it shows my levels on all this stuff, like my thyroid level and that. I always have it checked. And like my iron level and my vitamin D, and there's like certain things that they check. It's always been an issue with me. And I don't understand. So anyway, I'm like, whatever. You know, I just thought that was the only thing that everything else just went smooth as she refilled, y'all. She refilled everything. Like, well, she said all that other was still up there at the pharmacy, which the pharmacy is actually next door to where I went today. So she said, no, all those others are still supposed to be over at the pharmacy next door. And then the one that I told her about everything that happened with the others, you know, in this same health group. And she's like, yeah, I can refill it. Just so I had to call her when I got home because I couldn't remember like the milligrams. I didn't have the bottle with me. And so I had to call her back, and then I had to tell them like how I said to take it and stuff. So she was no problem. She refilled it for me. So like, I just got to go pick up all my stuff in the morning, like from the pharmacy. And it literally I cannot believe I come home. I literally sat down out back, and I just literally sat down for a minute, and I cried for a few minutes, because, I mean, it was just like a relief, like a relief. Like, so now I have somewhere to go, you know, at least till, you know, I find another doctor and whatnot and get, but like now I can just like go up the street. It was so ridiculously easy. And then she put me in touch with some of them that would help me on some of the things, like in regards to like lowering my bill and stuff with them, because my health, I have health insurance now, but it's not good insurance. It's my husband's insurance through where he's working through. And it's not good insurance. So that's something. But anyway, one of their people called me. Then this is hilarious. The guy that actually called me is like out of that same office where this original nurse that like they're telling me I have to come down there, or they're, you know, I'm not getting my medication. So, and I'm telling you, this guy was great. I talked to him for like a half hour, and he does case management, and he can help with transportation, like to lower your pain, like your doctor bills through them, and food, and various different things in regards to be like being disabled and that. He was talking about, he was telling me different places that I could get a hold of for different things if I needed whatever. And I mean, this guy was great. Like, he even asked me, you know, if I had a will, and like, was I interested in information. But like, this guy was so nice, y'all. And I mean, even that, I was like, that was so dang helpful. Like, that was actually super nice. The guy was super nice. He's like, I'll help you however I can. He's in the same office with these people down there. And I said to him, like, why didn't these people tell you? Like, why didn't these people tell you that? Why didn't they say something to you, like, before? Because I didn't want to go in. First of all, I didn't really actually want to go down there and, quote, go to that nurse. But I've been putting off going in and having my labs done for 2 reasons, because my health insurance is not good, and like I would have to pay all that. And then the other reason was I wasn't on my meds at that point, so they didn't do it the last time until today. Like, that's why they drew the blood today. And I was like, whatever, I think that's pointless and a waste of time. I'm not even arguing, because she's gonna set me up, like. So this is a nurse up here, and like, I'm just thrilled because like this is close. And oh, you know what, that made my day. That literally like made my day and turned things around, because I still, like this morning, I was just kind of, well, I'll tell you why too. So the last night and Tuesday night, due to like, you know, all my meds, last night I got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. The night before that, I think I got like 4 or 5 hours. In other words, like, I'm still like, right now I could actually go to bed now. But I'm not. I don't do that. I'll just wait a little bit and then I'll go to bed early. But, you know, like I'm saying, I need my medication, like, so I don't even have no pain meds, y'all. I'm taking ibuprofen right now that I have. I don't have any of my pain meds. And I'm just like, I mean, the lady's asking me this morning, like, how I'm feeling. I was like, I'm in pain. I said I don't have any of my medication. Like, so yeah, but yeah, so I wasn't gonna whatever over the blood work. But anyway, yeah, I don't know why those people down there, I had told them when they told me I have to come in here a while back, I was like, I don't want to come in right now because I can't afford to, because it's going to cost, they charged me for back in like November when I went, And I didn't even have anything done, y'all. I just went in there for like 15 minutes. And then they made me do a pee test, which was dumb. But anyway, it's $300 and some later for all that. Like, no. No. You know, I mean, so that's why I didn't want to do that. So, at any rate, I just said this guy, I don't know why they didn't, like, why these people, you know, didn't mention to you, like, why they didn't try to help me. Like, that's, and he was, you know, it was kind of like, he didn't really want to say anything about that, but I mean, it's not his fault. He was great. So, anyway, all in all, I'm thrilled. I don't have to, like, worry so much and, like, have some time to find me a doctor and get me slowly, you know, slowly back where I need to be, like, with doctors and whatnot. So, on my medical journey, if you want to say. But, and then something else happened, you know, so then I've been crocheting since I've been home, and I've just been, I mean, y'all, it's been wonderful. This was after that. So, then this evening, I talked to somebody I know. She messaged me, and I had put some of my pictures on my business page. And one of them is this top, which I still absolutely love this top. But I'm gonna stop for a second right there. But I am so proud of these tops, y'all. I have been wearing my tops. It just makes me feel so good. Like, I feel really proud of these. I feel beautiful when I wear them. Like, they just make me feel really good. And I'm telling you, that's like a big deal for me. So, like, I'm like just so proud of them. So she saw these pictures, and she had invited me to an event. This was like a week or something ago, you know, where someone can invite you to an event on Facebook. I mean, that's listed on Facebook. It's not like literally located on Facebook. Sometimes they are, but anyway, this was not. I had vaguely looked at it, and then I had not responded to it. So she was messaging about that. She said, hey, you know, I really think your work looks so nice, and I was wondering if you would like to do this craft bazaar. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot, you know, like, she invited me that, and I only looked at that for like 2 minutes, I don't know, one day, and then I just went on, like, and hadn't revisited looking at it. And I was like, well, when is it, you know, and where is it, and how much is it? And so we kind of went through all the specifics, you know, and it's not till almost the end of July. It's $20. She says you have tables and a tarp, or not a tarp, tent. And I said, well, I got tables. I don't have a tent, but I can probably get that, you know. That's not a big deal. And then she's like, tells me, then I got you signed up. And I was like, okay, great. And she said it was $20. And I said, oh, well, like, you know, you need the money or whatever. She said, no, they'll just collect the money on that day. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I have thought about doing these things, and I think that's why I did look at that for a couple minutes when she originally sent it to me. But y'all, I haven't done anything like that before. So I was kind of like, I don't know, because it's a lot of, I've been content and happy working on, like, stuff for myself and just whatever, like, at my behest and my leisure, you know, how I want to do. And what I'm saying is, if I would commit myself to an event like that, I was like, well, then I need stuff. Like, then I need stuff. Like, I need stuff done. Like, I need stuff made to sell. So that's why I had kind of not even, and plus it's at the end of July, so. But yeah, she was a go-getter after me on that. And I'm like, that's fine, you know. Sounds great. So I'm actually excited about it. I was telling my daughter, because my daughter was sitting right there when I was messaging her, and messaging this lady, and I was telling my daughter what she was saying, and she's like, yeah, you should do it. And she says, can I sell stuff too? And I was like, well, yeah, of course. Like, because Ava says to me, I don't know what a craft bazaar is. I said, it's like, you know, like a craft show, and or a craft market. And she was like, oh, cool, can I sell stuff too? And yeah, well, sure, why not? So now she's all excited. And then we started like talking about, she says, well, don't you have this that you've already done? I said, yeah, I have those. I said, and I have these. And what about this? And she's like, see, you have stuff. Like, she's like, you have stuff, Mama, that it's like, you already have some stuff. And I said, well, that's true. So now I'm actually like super excited about this. And the other thing was, I looked up the day, and it's on a Saturday. And the funny thing about this is, like, this is going to be, I can't, like, it's going to be such an exciting weekend, because there's going to be that on that Saturday. And then on Sunday is when our local county fair starts, 4-H fair, which I am like super excited about, y'all, because I'm going to be like entering a bajillion things, like a bajillion crochet things mainly. But I've been, you know, like working on that, because I did that last year, and I think I entered 5, like I had 5 pieces that I entered, and then I won grand champion for a pillow I made, which was not crochet. I was sewing, but that was not crochet. But anyway, I'm super stoked about that. I went back and got the list from last year of like the categories and stuff, because it's the same every year. And so that is something that I have been working on, and I intend to put together like a couple videos in regards to that and stuff, at least, as to like what I will be taking and what I entered and what did whatever. But y'all, I want to win that crochet category this year. I'm like, there is not, okay, so there's not a lot, like, at our county fair crochet wise. There was literally, y'all, there was only 2 blankets last year, and I was like, you're kidding, that is it? And one got grand champion and the other one got reserve. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even enter a blanket, y'all, because back back then was before I like started doing my blankets. This was last July, so I didn't have any blankets done, you know, at that point. So I'm excited, because y'all, this year I got blankets, I got all kind of stuff, all kind of crochet stuff, and I'm gonna enter some photography, and I'm not sure what else yet, but so I'm super excited about that. I can't wait for that. Although I don't want it to be here like tomorrow, even though I'm excited about it. It's going to be at the end of July, you know, towards the end of July. And I'm not ready for it to be, like, I'm not ready for it to be the end of July, is what I'm saying. We just started June, so I just need, you know, I need time to enjoy some of the summer before we, you know, because by then, like, we're getting closer to where my daughter will be going back to school, and like everything will be changing again come like mid-August. So I'm like, no, I don't want it to be the end of July yet, y'all. So, but that's okay. This is great, because in other words, this will give me time to, you know, work on more stuff to enter. So I'm already super excited, because when I went through the list and of the categories, that is, and stuff, like even the crochet, because they have like crochet, and then they have all these subcategories like accessories, home decor is one of them. So anyway, I'm trying, like, I have started making a list, like oh no, I have that. Like, I have this that can fit in this, you know, section or whatever. So I've already started working on that. So I can't wait for y'all to see that. And again, I'm glad it's not here yet because I got some work to do. But I am going to enjoy the rest of my evening. And it was great to see y'all again. Happy Thursday, folks. And tomorrow is Friday. God bless now. Good night.